All right, so now that we have created our calculations, let's take a small moment and kind of take a look at what work has been done. And to do that, we're going to go ahead and go to our browser. Now, keep in mind, I had just processed my cube. So if you had not processed your cube, go ahead and process it. After processing after processing a cube, come up here to refresh your cube in the browser. So I'm in the browser. Let's go ahead and hit refresh. Things are going to be refreshed. And if I had to, I can also reconnect. And those are some things that will also allow us to kind of make some edits in time. Now, previously, in our measures, we had a limited number of measures. Now, if I expand this out, those new calculations that we had just created are now included here. All right. So now if I wanted to, I can just simply click and drag my total products over, and I can hit click execute query, and my total products are now available. And if I didn't like the accepted products, I can just simply click and drag that out, and I could just look at percent accepted. I'm just going to move this around a little bit. And now I get an idea as to what percent is accepted. All right. So this is some ways that we can use our browser and the data that we've put together and kind of look at how all these things come into play. All right. So the next thing that we want to do is create some KPIs. Now, KPIs are key performance indicators, right? And currently we don't have any defined for this cube. So we're going to create a couple as we move forward. All right. Now the KPIs are included here with our document, and I'm just going to copy a lot of this information over. All right. So this is how we get started with creating a KPI. Let's go ahead, and the KPI organizer, we're going to just right click and select on new KPI. And we're going to start defining this KPI. The name of the KPI is going to be percent rejected. The value expression that we want is nothing more than just a representation of the percent rejected that we had in the measures. We can easily do that by navigating down to the measures at the bottom left-hand side, clicking on percent rejected and dragging it up to the value expression. Now the goal expression is just some basic text, and we're going to put 1.02 percent or less. And basically what we're actually doing is saying that we want the percent rejected to be, basically less than 2% of the overall population of products made. And then the final thing is that we need a status indicator, and we're going to put a gauge. All right. Now, the last thing that we need to do is include a status expression. So the status expression is included in the document. So I'm just going to simply copy it and paste it over to where we were. By the way, some of you may be experiencing a situation where your gauge, your status indicator for the gauge, may not be showing up. If this is you, I'm going to show you how to kind of get it back. All right, go to Tools, go to Options, and in general, change your color theme to dark blue or whatever. If you change the color theme, hit OK, save your work, close out the cube and open it up again, I guarantee you that that status indicator will be there. Okay. It happens occasionally. It doesn't happen all the time, but if that's you, that's one quick fix. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and save my work. I've created my KPI, and I'm going to go ahead and process my cube. All right. So I've just cut out a portion of the video just to kind of see how our just because we've seen processing happen a number of times. So let's kind of take a moment and kind of explore our KPI just a little bit. So what we can do is look at the browser view of our KPI. And here, and by the way, the browser view is nothing more than this little icon here, right? So we can look at basically the current status of where things are based on our current goal. Right now, it's saying that the total percent rejected is at 1.05%, and really we need to be at 1.2 or less. So now we are actually in the red, and this is a good way of being able to kind of give some information to decision makers. All right, so you can also modify some of this as well by looking at the dimensions and hierarchies up above. But I'm not going to get through all of that at this current time, but I just wanted to kind of show you the overall status and use of that particular tool. Now let's go to the browser, and here back in the browser, we can start to do some more analysis. Now, here is an opportunity where you can also add more information. Like, let's say that we want to look at the production of a specific, I don't know, maybe a specific plant that we have, and we want to see how many products it's producing. So let's go ahead and execute that query. So we have 3 plants, and here's the total products that are being produced. And let's say that we want to look at that over specific times. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to look at this time, I'm not going to click from the date, month, quarter, year. I'm actually going to grab from this component here. And let's go ahead and execute this. And I can look at the production of each of the plants over those specific years and see those particular outputs, their total output. I can also now basically take out year, and then let's kind of move this into a quarter. So let me actually put this at the front. Let's go ahead and execute this. And now we can also see how everything kind of relates out. All right. So these are some different ways of being able to browse our cube through SQL Server analysis services. Now, at this point in time, we're actually done with our cube, and we're done with this assignment. And the next step, of course, will be to connect to this using Tableau or other tools in order to be able to kind of make some assessment or analyze some things. Let me show you one more feature that is available to us, and then I'll stop the video and I'll let you explore this if you like. Another option is for us to use Excel simply by clicking on this little Excel option up here in SQL Server Analysis Services. So if we click on that button, Microsoft Excel will start up and it will open up a pivot table. Right? By the way, it asked me if I wanted to enable a feature. I said, go right ahead. And now if you notice that on the right-hand side, we can also do some analysis, including working with our KPIs that are here, right? So let's go ahead and look at a status indicator, and let's look at the total products produced. And then let's also look at some of our dimensions. Let's just go ahead and look at, actually, I want to expand out the plant hierarchy. Let's just look at the plant. All right. So now we can get an idea of how things are working simply by using our cube and exploring it like a pivot table in Excel. So I encourage you to kind of explore this a little bit and expand out some of these things and kind of see how things are working. And notice how that KPI kind of gives us an idea about how things are working. I think that's pretty cool. All right, so I'll let you explore that and take advantage of looking at this cube and seeing how this could work out with any kind of analysis that you might perform.